The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 86. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of real women producing extraordinary results by finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook at our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan. And today's guest, I have an amazing lady. She's from New York City. She's a recording artist, producer. She has her own record company. I mean, she's just making moves. And, I'm just really honored that she's able to take the time to, do this interview. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Elizabeth Chan. Elizabeth, how are you doing today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourselves to the listeners.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I am a recording artist. I only do Christmas music. Right now, I have a few songs playing on the radio around the world. So it's definitely a passion of mine to create Christmas music. And I'm very happy to be here because I feel, self-confidence is a big part of, just any woman who is in any business in any capacity. So I'm very flattered to be here.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. And, I believe self-confidence is like a huge thing for any area in your life as well. So, I just can't wait to hear your story. And Elizabeth, what's your cultural background?
I'm half Filipino, half Chinese. My mother is from the Philippines and my father his family is from Hong Kong. He's a born and raised New Yorker, and I am an all-American girl. I was born and raised in New York City.
I was born in the Philippines, so I don't know if you've ever been
cool.
yet. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm a recording artist in the Philippines with Viva Entertainment. I'm the first American they've ever signed.
Oh, sweet. Well, congrats to that. And that's awesome news. And, Elizabeth, what's your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote is, "Confidence is silent."
I love that, and it's so true, right? I mean, the most confident people don't have to show it because they are confident enough to just do the things that they want. Even the most introverted people are pretty much the most confident because they don't need to pretty much show off what they have, right? They just do
right.
it with an easy flow.
Absolutely, and I think that for someone to be truly confident, it's not only like an internal, but it's also having this meta understanding of others. And understanding and a grace about, that we're all different. Not being so egocentric is what makes someone even more confident. Because once you open up your eyes and realize that there are people who have different thoughts and philosophies, really kind of helps gauge your confidence as well.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that as well. So thanks for sharing that. And Elizabeth, what is your definition of self-confidence?
It is really having the faith in yourself and recognizing fears and doubts are completely natural and that they're nothing more than clues to answers.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I always believe, you have to have faith in yourself. And you have to start with yourself, to start believing that you are capable of doing, amazing things in this world, right? I always believe every person's here for a reason. And, some people just don't see it yet. And hopefully, when people start listening more to these episodes and these stories, they can realize their true potential. So I appreciate that definition. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I don't know if there was a point where I actually say I discovered self-confidence. I think that, self-confidence is a constant exercise and a journey. It's not something that you just magically find. I think it's something that you constantly work at. That's only because life is just always changing, and the experiences in your life are always changing. If you're lucky, I can't imagine if there's somebody out there whose life is just all the same every day. That's kind of sad. And, if you're really truly living a great life, you're going to have the ability to have different experiences and feelings. And your self-confidence is there to just really help you adjust to each situation. So, self-confidence to me is a tool. It's not the end-all be-all. It's not something that you try to achieve and then that's it. I think it's something that helps you just maintain who you are as a person. And, keeping your self-confidence at its best is sometimes a challenge, but it's something that you constantly work at.
I totally agree with you with that because, no one just has 100% self-confidence, right?
Right.
You're going to have days where you just feel like you just want to crawl in bed and not see the world. And there's some people who just have this this period of their time where they're just suffering from like low self-confidence, and sometimes they need something to pick them up and start, believing in themselves. I mean, was there points in your life where you just had these breakthroughs like, oh, I can do what I want, I have what it takes to just go out there and make stuff happen?
Well, when I started writing Christmas music, I got a lot of people telling me that was crazy. I had a job working in magazines, and it was a very stable job, the kind of job that looks great on any resume. And when I decided to write Christmas music, I got a lot of naysayers, and that was like a true test of my own confidence in my ability and in my passion. And when I started writing Christmas music, it was not like there was no guidebook telling me how to do this. And then when I tried to get a record deal to just write Christmas music, I realized that didn't exist. And, I had to start my own company and my own record label to put out my own music. And that's also scary. When you start your own company, you really have to have so much faith in yourself and in your abilities that, it goes back to how I describe, self-confidence in my life. It's not just something that Eureka, had it. It's something that I held within me. And sometimes my confidence waned, but most days I tried to hone into my confidence and just ignore the naysayers. I think when people bring in other people's thoughts and, expectations and conjecture, it's very damaging to yourself and to your confidence. Your confidence is really your way of being able to sift through all the noise and really center around what is your true self.
I love that story that you mentioned about you starting your own Christmas company, because so many people, when they see like, oh, no one's doing a Christmas album, then maybe I won't do it, right?
Right.
People have different perceptions. You were like, nobody's doing a Christmas album? Hell yeah, I'm going to open up my new company. Like, there's...
No, it wasn't like that. But, it was really because people kept saying no. And if I had taken their no as doctrine, then in essence, I was letting the no destroy my confidence in my ability and letting somebody else's truth be my truth, which isn't true at all. So, self-confidence played a role in the sense that I was able to really, really, really focus and sincerely know my true ability to be able to take anybody else's, opinion and accept it. You have to, being self-confident means that you accept other people's ideas and opinions, but you don't necessarily let it guide your decisions. And if I did that, if I let these other opinions guide my decisions, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I wouldn't be here talking to anybody about anything. I wouldn't have songs on the radio. Right now, I have the #1 Christmas song in New York City, in the biggest radio station in the country. So, I wouldn't have gotten this far if I had let other voices break down my confidence in my abilities.
So congratulations on having your song as #1 in New York City. I think New York City, is a huge population. I live in Canada, and I think there's more people in New York City alone than in the whole of Canada. So, congrats to that. And your story's so amazing. The fact that, you just went out there and did it. And, coming from an Asian culture, it's not easy for Asian women to go out there and do their own thing.
Oh my God. I think it's like if you're born an Asian woman, you almost have an extra layer of challenges.
Yeah, totally.
Because there's a cultural... I think people don't realize this, but there's actually a cultural layer of, filial piety where you're supposed to be a certain way and pay homage to your elders, which I totally do. And Christmas is totally about family, and it's still very true to who I am, but I'm also an American girl, and in America, it's just a different it's a different philosophy. I think that's also, for the good and the bad that it is to be raised in an Asian household. You take your pros and your cons, but that's why your self-confidence is so important. I cannot tell you how many friends I've had who were raised in Asian households that said that they wish that they could have done what they wanted to do, but they still have really respectable careers. They're doctors, lawyers, and so they have wonderful lives. But, it's just, everyone has their own journey. And I think it's interesting. I don't know. I can't change who I am. That's just who I am, Yeah,
and no, I agree. I mean, we can't change our cultural practices that we have. I mean, my grandma still thinks I'm an old maid and wants me to get married, but it's not it's not something that I want right now, and
right?
And it's something we have to accept, but it doesn't mean we have to follow it, right? I mean, I'm not going to go find the first guy that I see and say, "Hey, let's get married so my grandma can be happy," right? But, we just respect their opinions and we say, okay, grandma, I still love them. But, these are the things that most Asian women deal with. And I've seen so many Asian women out there who look perfect on the outside, but they're dying on the inside to live life, on their own terms. So, I'm really glad you're able to share your story. And Elizabeth, if our listeners, are in their own journey of self-confidence, what's that one tip you would give to them?
My tip that I would give to anybody in their journey of self-confidence is to always follow your gut. My worst decisions were when I didn't follow my own gut. Had I not followed about writing Christmas music, I would definitely not have the career I have today. Yeah, I mean, that's the tip that I have.
Awesome. And it's great that you followed your passion, writing Christmas music, because I'm sure, like you said, you had a lot of people thinking, are you nuts, right? And it's funny when you follow your passion and then when you finally get that goal or get to that destination, the same people who thought you were nuts, they seem to they turn their words around and be like, oh, you're so lucky, but nobody realizes what you had to go through and the work that you had to put in and the love to be able to be where you are today. So thanks for sharing that. And if our listeners want to check out your Christmas album or check out your Christmas music, is there any websites or social media profiles we can connect with?
Sure, absolutely. My website is lizchanchristmas.com, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Liz Chan Music. I'd love to hear from everybody.
Sweet. I mean, we would love to hear all this Christmas music as well, especially with the season now coming. So thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Elizabeth, just head on over to the Selfconfidence.com and search for Elizabeth's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really want to thank Elizabeth for taking the time to share her story and her advice on self-confidence. So Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us at the Tao of Self-Confidence. Head over to the Selfconfidence.com for full recaps of every show, our amazing blog articles and resources, and just plain fun. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits, so start today.